Okay, briefly and quickly go through several slides. Start here to lead up to where the correction is needed. And this was one of the three statements made in Revelation 17, twice in verse 8, once in verse 11, referencing the three states or phases of the beast, and its was state, is not, yet is state. Austin Cook's diagram depiction of this, showing how that the was state reference or relates to the papal supremacy and the time of the sixth head, the is not, the deadly wound, and the symbolically the abyss or state of the dead. Then the healing took place in 1929. How Rome revived, then it exists until the second coming, second advent of Christ. The seventh head begins its role in the beast kingdom that's described in Revelation 17 and 17, or in 1929. And let's go ahead and move forward from this characterization to then look at a block diagram that shows the woman, the beast, and even the eighth is on here, and the head and the horn. So what are we looking at? The diamonds show a relationship of composition. So the beast is composed of a head and a set of horns, 10 specifically. The head passes through 7 stages, from the first head to the seventh head, and then the language that was used in, I believe it's verse 8, that the eighth is called out even. But Roland Loisby made this observation in looking at that verse, how that out of the seventh was the eighth. He said that literally, more literally, rather than of the seven, which is translated in the King James, would be that this beast came out of the seven. The beast itself, the eight, was, it would seem, the same beast to which the 7 heads had been attached. Absent, however, and this I believe is significant in the Greek, is the definite article before the word eighth, and that suggests the beast itself was the real authority back of the 7 heads, and that is therefore more than merely another head, the eighth in a series. Instead, it is their summation and climax, the beast itself. In Greek, the word for eighth is masculine, and hence cannot refer to a head, which is translated from a Greek word, which is feminine. So I think this is that Loisby is onto something significant here in observing this. So here, the hollow arrows specify a relationship where the entity that's pointing to this other entity is an instance of that. So the beast is the eighth. The seventh head is a head of the beast. These heads each show that they're a controlled head, and that the dragon, also shown, the eighth is the dragon or Satan. And then this relationship here of how that the dragon is controlling or utilizing these heads throughout history in consecutive fashion to carry out his purposes. Now, I abandoned that, went to a higher level framework, and just to quickly introduce this, we have the earth controlling forces comprised of God, the dragon, and this religio-political global power comprised of the woman and the beast, and then the beast has a set of horns and a controlled head. Again, the mutually exclusive specification here that only one head at a given time is actually functioning. So, subtle difference when we move into the final representation or characterization of this in Revelation 17. Now, this composition is introduced from the dragon to the global power. So the dragon is no longer working from just an outside influence on the woman and the beast, but actually has taken full possession of them. We'll flesh that out in a little more detail. Now looking at instance diagram of the first version where the dragon is working from the outside. See an instance of the religio-political global power, and it has the woman and the beast has a controlled head and a set of horns, and the dragon is directly influencing the woman and the controlled head. So now to look at specific instances, we use these use cases to first look at the beast in its was condition. So we see the woman here as the user of the beast, rides the beast in its was state. And to look at that diagram, very much like the generic diagram, however, we have head number 6 representing the state of the papal Rome, and here is the church. So the combination of church and state, which comprises or composes this global power. The beast is in its 6th head phase here from the year AD 538 through 1798. These are the years that papacy was in its supremacy. Now, we move to the next use case, is the beast here is in its is-not state. So the woman has lost her ride. We look at the instance diagram, we see that this global power is absent. It's lost its political dimension. So from 1798 to 1929, there was not an official papal kingdom or state that existed till 1929. The Vatican was instated as that official recognized nation that continues to exist. So this is the is not instance diagram. Then look at the use case of when the beast yet is. We see here is where we pick up the 7th head and move out through to the 8th phase, also up to the 2nd Advent, and Babylon the Great comes into full force. So looking at the first phase of this, where we have the dragon still working as an outside influence on the woman and the head, we now have head 7 here. And head 7 satisfying these same requirements of satisfying the desires of the woman and also satisfying the purposes of the dragon. The horns being, rather than the 10 divided kingdoms of Western Rome, as we understand it is the case in Daniel chapter 7, here, this is collectively representing all the governments of the world and how the papal state has significant and direct influence over them. Now, as we move from the beginning of this phase, 1929, out to the point where Babylon the Great is in full force, and the latter part of this phase is when the image to the beast, one moment, I need to answer that prompt. Okay, we're back. That the late part of this phase is when the image to the beast and the image of the beast is formed, as described in Revelation 13, verses 14 and 15. So then looking at the final phase of this yet is condition, as described in Revelation 17, see the devil no longer working from the outside, influencing, just openly taken direct control over this global power, and is openly now the recognized leader of this world power. So this is the climax state, the climax of the yet is state, going from when Babylon the Great is in full force until the second advent. We see the seventh head is still in place, but we have the dragon just in open, full control. It's during this phase that the three unclean spirits described in Revelation 16:13 are in full operation with the spiritism from the three dimensions described of the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. And also here in this same set of late condition here of Babylon the Great is when Satan impersonates Christ. So wanted to make that correction. Believe that this is a good characterization of what even Mrs. White, in quoting from Revelation 17, verses 13 and 14, she makes this statement right after that, quoting those verses. These have one mind, from verse 13, and there will be a universal bond of union, one great harmony, a confederacy of Satan's forces. So just wanted to go through this again kind of quickly, but to highlight the correction here that this seventh head does not come into play in 1798. Instead, it's when that wound is healed in 1929. So thank you for taking a look at this correction, and we'll get this posted. Hopefully others can benefit from it.